Yeah. Yeah. So a little bit different format than usual. When this is being recorded, that's what this thing is. I borrowed it from our friends in Oakley, so you can kind of see what this looks like online, the 360 camera. This is being recorded and broadcast on Facebook, and it'll be uploaded to YouTube tomorrow. If you feel like we got cookies and pizza and salad back there for you, you're finished. Pretty sure we don't have the forum, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and do public announcements anyway. So start with the fire department here. For any feedback you guys might have.
I don't know when I'm working my house here, but I'm here today with the stars. I and just only we haven't been starting to get back. Generally, what we cover is general fire safety that pertains to this. Like your lights, for instance, generally, this is also that a lot of you probably already know, but just be careful with how you stream your lights up, up and down, about it. We have accidents that happen all the time. Using outdoor light for outdoor application, indoor lights for indoor application, and just using comments. Then of course, smoke detector. I was hammer on smoke detector because something that really is important. And we are in 2022, and there's still plenty of people out there that don't have. Well, they got one in the battery dead, and they get some. 3 out of 5 deaths that happened as a result of a house fire. Find that the working smoke detector. So that's why. That you may be concerned about that, especially if be involved as much as we are. Yes, we used to carry a lot of that we had to. Yes. Thank you.
I think next we'll move over to the library. You have any announcements?
Oh.
Okay, you're here.
Okay. I'm Terry, I'm the manager of the Madisonville Library, so I want to make sure I came. At this time, I was hoping that we'd be in our new space, but I'm on the sort of. Bridge Library. So unfortunately, we had a few delays, so we're not going to be able to move into the new space this year. The upside is we get to spend a little bit more time in our beautiful building. It's going to be open. I don't have an exact date. I don't get thinking over there talking about the bed. She wants to know what day. We don't have a date yet, but just right now we're pretty much done. Really just waiting on some components for the so unless we want to run some extension cords to the old building. Saying our current build, I will keep you guys updated and I will let Kerry know. We'll make sure he gets the word out. With that being said, we're going to restart story time versus January because we don't want to kind of go in. And then I also brought a guest with us. This is Miss Anna. She's our youth services librarian. Hopefully, a familiar face. If you come to the front. Questions? Yeah.
Some pictures of the inside.
Yes, all the actual pictures are on the public website. So if you go to chpl.org.
This furniture is.
Yeah, to be honest, it would be better if you just walk up to the new building there at the corner of Prentice and Watson. Look at, see all the furniture, pretty much everything in the space. Except for the electric piece. So, but it's looking really great. That is you guys' reactions.
It's gonna be shut down for a while.
So there will likely be a period where we shut down, close from the old building as we transition. It'll be 1 to 2 weeks. However, we're still during that time we'll still provide curbside service. So people can pick up molds if they need something printed or something faxed. We'll still provide that service during that time.
Thanks. You know what makerspace is behind it's gonna be here then?
But we won't divulge any. Some of the elements we wanted to be a surprise. We're looking close enough here to get that announcement. But yes. Yes, Angel, we're still gonna, for the foreseeable future, we're still going to hold on to the current building. I mean, and obviously we can only clean so far out, but right now we're looking at using it for internal space. We've got a few departments with all the building projects going on right now that are little displays, so the internal library staff workspace.
And what is it?
I can tell you, with the library will definitely hear what the community has to say, and I know they'll reach out to the council if and when we ever decide to with the building. But for now, we're going to hold on to it. We got so many building projects going throughout the county, so it could be beneficial for us to hold on. Yeah.
Is there any plans to get it on this? Maybe an historical landmark there.
Oh, to get it registered. So I know people in the community have worked. I believe we're working towards that. I don't believe the library is working towards it. But there will be a button maker for you, I promise.
What about
There will be some sort of recording element set up for it. So we'll definitely divulge that.
very small.
Yeah. No.
In that library.
Exactly, and actually, if you come to the library after school, the kids are very well familiar with the library. So they come in, we're definitely looking at ways to involve the youth into the makerspace. So not that's, but how do we get the kids engaged and active with that?
It's so.
And they might teach you a trick or two using the equipment. I know a lot of our kids are great about just jumping in if somebody needs help. You'll help somebody on the computer real quick, so I could see them stepping up in that manner as well, so. There might be a tiny house inside, if you look from the window, there might be a little. Tiny house.
Yeah, you said. Money or just?
No, it's not because of money at all. I mean, we've been working on this project. We actually started in 2019. So right now, we are just waiting on electric panel parts that are sitting in Mexico somewhere that are waiting to be. So everything paid for. It's not on the library's mark right now. Right now, it's sitting on our construction. Yeah, that's working on it. So
He just moved back. Windfall.
so, well, a lot of our projects right now are based on the levy monies that we obtained in 2018. So this Madisonville has always been a priority location. So the money's getting paid for it. So we don't need to worry about that.
Hey, how long, Red?
What was that?
What is the lease on the property?
I believe it's a 15-year lease, and we have the option to purchase that space between, I think it's 7.5 and 9.5 years. Why is that time? I have no idea. But 15-year lease starting now with the option to purchase. So.
As the opposite purchase property.
They have the option to purchase it within 7.5 and 9.5 years within that 15
After
years.
15 years, what happens then? You get-
I think that you would renegotiate the lease. So. The library itself is just the single floor. Right now, what for accessibility, that's the issue. So that's right now, everything, the goal is to get everything on the main floor. So if you look through from the Prentice side of the building, you can see the entire stretch of the space. That being said, right now we're in the works of planning. Obviously, we don't have a date yet. We'll have the traditional ribbon cutting ceremony, kind of the VIP day. We're going to create a community celebration to make a big spectacle of it, and then find our community partners out and create some fun events around the field.
Right.
I'm glad you guys all care so much.
Yeah.
I like it. It's awesome.
I do have one surprise for you. Communication from the community council. For some of your online subscriptions for kids.
That is awesome.
Thank you so much. And I think the only other public meetings we had for the rec center.
Right, park's underway, it's gonna be done around the same time. Like,
Yeah, yeah, the engagement is upper filter area. It's a little muddy currently, right?
It's a lot of money.
You know, you can go and check it out, but be careful what you say.
I did have to warn them, I had to put in 4-wheel drive.
Hey, don't people drive up there.
No.
Miss Pearson? Like where the bridge is at over the creek?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's owned by, that property is all owned by the city and that's managed by the Parks Department.
Well, they want to be done with that this summer, next summer.
Oh, they don't have anything planned down there, it's that property. Yeah, it's intended to be a wooded area that would people can go for a walk and enjoy nature and stuff like that, yeah. There are benches in there. Yeah, there are benches in there, and to be honest, and it has been a long-term ask by several members of the community to get signage, so that way people realize that it actually is public property owned by the city and that it is more welcoming. And so they are working on redoing all of their signage in the entire park system, but they're doing it based on like how the most popular places, busiest places first, and working their way down. But they are working on that.
Pretty dark at the time of year. Have you ever gone down the hill, Murray? You know.
Yep.
That's very, very. I don't know. I mean. Yeah.
So like streetlights are responsibility of the city as well. And if your street that you're on, that you live on, if it's too dark, I think it's too dark, there's a blank spot maybe where like there's a gap. The city does have like, as part of transportation engineering, they do have like a minimum standard of lighting for like a residential street. And so you can put in a request to the city, you can go also then forward it to the city. But if it's actually below that standard, like, yeah, they will actually install it. I think they normally do though ask for a petition just to make sure that all the neighbors are okay with that extra light, but if it doesn't meet that minimum standard, then yeah, it's included, yeah.
Put it in the hearing department, and I've seen how. I asked them, can you come to the community? So. I'm giving you a meeting.
Yep.
So we can invite them out for the community, so we can give them with and talk.
And the city is supposed to be hiring somebody at DOT who will be focused on neighborhoods, like transportation within neighborhoods. So I don't know if that, I don't know if it's hired anybody, but that would be something that more long term. Well, that what's that? He's in charge of the housing committee. Yeah, he's the chair of the housing committee. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, one other thing is, so since we put the turf soccer field, since I've been going to Bramble a lot every day, checking on that project, seeing a lot of people with dogs come in and stuff like that. One of the things that I just want to remind everybody, council and everything, trying to get signage, is can't have dogs without being on a leash and clean up after them. Because we've had plenty of instances where I don't like taking a dog poop, it's just not something I enjoy doing. So I'd rather not do that, clean up after your dog and make sure your dog's leashed in proper areas. Tennis courts, basketball courts, soccer fields, it's not a place for a dog. Nice park like Bramble, or out in the back here, that is a great place for a dog. Just make sure they're leashed and keep control of them.
That. Okay. Some dog parks and dog places, friendly places, have garbage can, hold, an empty box where people can put their Kroger bags, and so you don't have to keep buying back.
We have, I believe we have it already installed at Bramble, but I am getting some and additional with the Bramble.
Good, good, so sorry. I'm ready for the, right. They got dogs, I'm telling you, my brother got a little big sign for the dog.
I also know that when I walk my dog, I carry bags to clean up there.
Okay, so I think that is it for neighborhood or public agencies. So our goal tonight, we're going to do a special format for the meeting. So we're looking to the end of calendar year, obviously. Next year is an important year for the community council because it's an election year. So we have election at the same time as the city does. And so all five of our officer positions will be up for election. And so we want to make sure that we into that. We can do what we can to help raise awareness within the community. And so we're looking for like a public engagement session tonight to get feedback from everyone to talk about what has worked, what hasn't worked, what kind of things we can do looking forward. That way we can move into 2023 with some momentum and make sure we're doing a good job reaching the community. So you have post-it notes on your desk. Yeah. What I'll do is we'll have, if you guys got some ideas, so we're gonna start off. No, it doesn't. Oh, no.
Best Christmas sweater for the night.
Yeah. So. So our, and you can kind of, we take your time, grab pizza, salad, cookies, drink. Kind of the truest way to look at it is like looking back. What has the community council in the past, it could not have been this past year, it could have been any years in the past, like. What are some strategies that you have noticed that you have appreciated or that worked when it comes to find out what's going on in the community? So, have Facebook and Instagram accounts.
Thank you.
What are some kind of ideas that folks have for what had worked well, they appreciated their life functions? Anybody have any, anybody going out there?
Newsletter.
Newsletter.
Sure.
Yep, so we are actually one on that note, we're one of the only, I think we are the only community council in the state of Cincinnati out of 48 active community council, 47. We're the only one that tries to mail it out to every single residential address in the neighborhood. So that is something that she's kind of referring to, and the goal is to have it quarterly. Sometimes it's a challenge, but once a quarter. We had some copies here, the last one, I think they got undertaken, thank you for that. Other kind of things that people noticed in the past that they liked, that they heard. Good, and that happened
After the last 12 months, we talked about.
the whole time you lived here.
Darts. This Wednesday, 7 o'clock, rec center. And there were people identified throughout the community that. And so. Those were great.
So would they be set out like that week of and then taken down?
Yeah, you said this Thursday, so.
Key intersections, yep. Great suggestion.
Martin.
Yeah, you have communications and doing something like that for their event this past year.
Maybe when I made a sign for like.
Yep. So that's so yeah, so we can transition to like some things that work better. Would be that idea, suggestion to try something different. So like talking about like a community board, like a kind of like that right there over there on that wall where you've got like a pegboard or like a digital signage. What are you thinking here?
Up here. Like a little city area, I mean, come on,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Well, why don't we put a. Question and started for me, some people want to have that.
Yep.
It's a.
Yeah.
Or how much money is being allocated to it, to getting that done. It's not from everybody, so.
I mean, that is an extremely effective communication tools going door knocking. That's right. There you go. Yeah, Mike. What you got?
Reasonable, maybe put this meeting 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. The last one I was here, that fire.
We can't make the center available at 6. We have kids until 6, sometimes 6:30. reason they're at 7 is because if kids aren't leaving here until 6:30, we need to have that time to set up and clean up and get ready. So I don't know if we can do that or not. But I think that would be might be more of a challenge.
You know, I got, that maybe moving these meetings to some of our coffee shops, some of our small businesses like cheese paper, they got.
All right.
Maybe move the meeting, like he said, he can have here for set. Now.
Yep.
Go to the new coffee shop over at, there, or small businesses, they have our meeting there.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's a great idea, because there are, it's not the only place that in the community that has a physical space of this size that can fit everyone. Yes.
Library. Place, so.
Yeah, Kate. Yeah, yeah. No, that's fine, yeah, we can, as people have, ideas and stuff, that's fine, it's up to everybody to talk about where we want the discussion to go. I will say, just a caveat, to change like the time, that is specified in like our bylaws and our standing rules for 7 p.m., but that's not a no, that would just be an extra step, potentially. Think Alex, I think I hear your hand up. No, okay, sorry.
And you said we were talking about things already been developed here.
What we were talking about, we're trying to focus on communication and outreach. How can we maximize our reach to make sure that we're communicating with as many people as possible in the neighborhood is our general, goal for tonight. So we definitely, right. Like how, so kind of the city of Cincinnati kind of expects the community council to be like the voice of the community. And so our ability to stay in touch with what's going on with the concerns and interests of the residents, we got to make sure that we're doing the best job we can to reach out. So that's what we're looking for, any kind of feedback, things that have worked, things that haven't worked, and updating things to how this meeting works is also a big part of that, because if the meeting doesn't function very well, people might not show up. And then how do we have those conversations with our neighbors? Yeah.
Volunteer, nobody get paid. And we just get back and get volunteer.
Yeah. Great.
You gotta go to the people and they gonna come to us.
That's right. Yeah, and a lot of people don't even know that this is a system that exists in the city. Yeah.
Because it's what so all the other conspiracy announcements, is it possible those things to be things that are communicated in the news? Or public or those other mediums, because of the announcement. My worry here is that on the board reports and the actual business items and the
Right.
So
Kind of more engaging as opposed to like
I don't know those people. I don't know if other and all things.
yeah.
You say for everybody.
Hiring fire.
Right, so basically try to get them to be a little bit more, yeah, more specific as opposed to just showing up and then kind of, these are all the things, like instead of being like, oh no, this is a big thing. We kind of it's like more higher priority engagement announcements, okay.
So as the only city employee representative in this room right now, I will tell you this, one of the things that when city council allocates money for community councils, the purpose of community council meetings and the city agencies coming to these meetings is also to gain feedback from. So if you tell them not to come, then how are we able to get feedback? Because a customer or a neighbor or whatever may have about it. So that's it's one of the ways that the city looks at for customer service. That's one of the reasons why in recreation, we're mandated that we have to come and present at every meeting. So police and the fire also are like that. Waterworks and MSD and they're not mandated, but they come when there's a necessary thing. And that's why sometimes you see them and sometimes you don't. But the city groups that are actively involved with customers on a daily basis, random customers on a daily basis, we're supposed to be here so we can get feedback.
No, we have had, I know at least one resident from.
But another problem. They want to be here. Don't have a. And that, but my thing. And then we got traffic. Everything else, so we don't get no.
There.
Like a Ellie, you don't take them out, they have like you.
It's like kind of more like you're like an outreach to those residents to see if they want to be involved.
Family. Everybody here, they're all crossing their taxes going up. They don't pay tax for 15 years, 15 years.
A strong reach out to both the Jameson, the Red.
Yep.
And to
Only.
Ackerman and to
Yeah, I had a friend that lived in the Red and she didn't think she lived in that.
so. That's the name of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really.
And we talked about it in our small review. Not everyone likes meeting, he likes meeting.
Yeah.
That's the, all the participation we have seen, some of the, and builders to the community, so we're trying to engage them and, you know, get more. I don't know that they're gonna come and try to get involved with policy or, you know, direction of the community, but on a Saturday, they'll come.
Reach out.
And I think that's. So indeed, time to do something. That does cost a small amount of money for us to tax. Anderson, they did outreach with the Jameson. Create like a neighborly discussion. Here at this meeting, and our goal is to our community participating in this period. There has to be some.
They're not moving on a lot, Stuart.
Thanks for that.
Mike, it's on.
Well, you know, why not reach out to people at the. I would love to see it. Why don't we move a meeting over there? Have our meeting over there, we've got their. And then do the same thing like the I love to see the inside of that club. Meeting, and it was put on me there.
It's on the city registry of, yeah, landmark.
So I can prove that the park complex, the Madisonville, are they considered a part of Madisonville? Are they had?
So you know, the railroad trestle, near Madison Bowl. By the storage facility. That's like the western edge of Madison. Got a map I can give you, but yeah. Yeah, so like the red is in Madison.
Well, I know, because I grew up right to that part, I'm talking about.
Yes.
Or they have their own, but a community with. Or the Madison,
No, that's Madison.
it's Madison, I know it's Madison, but because they put this new development, I thought.
Yeah. Hey, I know you had a question you wanted to make sure that I asked. I don't know if I got.
I think you did, but I did want to go back to, was there anything we did this year that people liked and would like to see more of? I heard newsletter in the back. Was there anything else? Yeah.
Notice the last couple of months, there's been text message going out reminding about.
all that's going to, if it's just numbers or, you know.
Yep.
People that you have. I don't know.
Yeah, we did try, start doing that, I think in October, and that is just the active first, that's kind of, that feels like more of like an explicit permission to be contacted.
Yeah.
Than maybe somebody's like, in years past, but, yeah, and like is, I guess like the content of that, like, is it just a reminder the meeting is happening, is it a mention of what will happen at the meeting?
For me, it's just a reminder, but I don't know.
I totally agree, 100%. We should have meetings and other places here in Madison. One thing. 2023. What really made me angry this year. Said that the move was not looking for the kids this year.
That's not.
It's really angry. And nowhere to go and nowhere to swim, and either had to go to Pleasant Beach. Oakley, places, and that's not real.
Yes.
I'm gonna say something real quick, maybe. There was an opening in city council. Our thing goes back 40 years now. We've never had council for the matter. This whole community, this is like. They put in for it, and I think he's eliminated. But we got to get. In council, we got to get. And get, that's what. You need to get after your, you get what do you get?
What are they doing? How are they finding success?
I think you got an active community. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is about this.
I saw Terry's hand first, but
Yeah, I don't know how much my voice matters, but one of, I feel like it was last year, maybe the year before, we did a contest and getting the youth engaged. And it's gonna to see some kind of community engagement with that. That's strong working.
in Mr. Broad. In general, Sure.
A lot of them. Like, one of the songs. No, that's not easy, okay? But. And everything else, it's like, we're trying to force. Yes, 63 years. What's gonna happen?
If you check the tax, if you check the tax, they have been spent. Oakley, our ports, now these other areas, their tax money, and it makes. That's how these people end up.
Yeah, you know, and us as the community council, we're just volunteers for people like you, spending our volunteer hours to help facilitate this. But the reason we want have more engagement, more people show up. And so when developers do come and ask for a letter of support, you all get to take a vote on that, right? So the more people are here and more, you know, your friends and family show up, you have a voice in that process. We are just simply the bridge between you all and the city council on that.
Better for. I
Make sure he has your.
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh,
believe me, I'm basically got my.
yeah, I will admit, we did have some newsletters never show up in the mail.
Yeah.
There was, because the post office, but. It has been a challenge at times. I'm still not getting mail regularly these days, but.
They go down there and will. So, but you got to go down there in front of their faces to make things happen.
Right, but we need that kind of feedback from the body, point us in that direction that people want to go in. So that's why it's like important to get that engagement, to make sure people know what's going on at the meeting, and when the meeting is, they can come, because like, I'm basically like an arrow. And I'm trying to get whoever this comes here at this body, point me in that direction they want me to go. I do work downtown, on the other side of downtown, so I have that ability to kind of see if I can work from time to time to go to City Hall. If we don't have anything massive on the agenda, kind of told that windmills, but if there is something like we have that ability, we are governed by Robert's rules. So any member can make a motion and we could, in theory, you know, move in that direction.
But as far as community groups like this, other places. For these topics from. For yes. Then you have people that are. And then you have. And one of the problems we have is. But you also don't want to not hear people. As a group of not listening to folks who are upset because we feel this means. Something about it. So I think if you want to see what happened from an outside perspective. If they're upset with their feelings or this far, I know about it together from there. We spend most of our time arguing over nature. And we have new folks doing. That's I concern what you're doing, because all of you are seeing kind of the same thing for the issues and like. That is choosing to get past. And how to they love props to you for always trying to see about this and forward this year. People that since the 3 years I've been in this community that something you do not do, and it's. Next year.
Yes. He's got to wait.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yep. Okay. Yeah.
Anything else working? Something else that I like a survey. what people in the community want to talk about in meetings or when top of mind for them or. But for people.
And there's a lot of people that live down here all their life. They have come ahead and otherwise our community. And a lot of people who live here all their life, like they just can't put. Like, is there a benefit? Wow. So we could pass.
Strangers.
So I'm saying, well, I grew up in that, so. Like, yeah, it's just like everybody. That people personalities, you know.
Yeah.
I know Madison been around a long time, and I'm trying to see development. But I want our community residents to have them. When things have been developed out here. And everyone knows, yeah, but you know, I can. Give our input, when you are. Share. Sort of that I do, because. But they need to have a system. I'm saying, so right now, it's about new people coming in, they not us. I tell you what, my grandmother. She paid a lot of taxes. Really. Understand each other.
Yeah, I think that's great, and I think making these meetings more inviting, less intimidating. I think I've seen, you know, you're trying to do mics. Maybe it's having one mic in the middle of the room and you got a line. That you can get for business, there's the rules are and the rules get. Doesn't pointing fingers or. Make it more fair. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that, you know, we've heard, I mean, I think it's been like this for forever, right? I know people, neighbors have been there for a long time. They used to be involved in community council and these terms about whatever. It's just figuring, and you hear that, and it's. Let's just stop it and, you know, we can figure out, if you have best practices on other community council meetings, you know, if you want someone else to go out and take notes or meet with, you know, it's probably your board's role or. You know, how everybody else is working.
But mine has a whole bunch of notes, she is ready to go. We're gonna talk about the parts.
watching that, is that there's so many people that live. In that. So. And then like. That could have taken the bus down the street, now I'm gonna take the bus to. Part of my taking them to very much. Each focus more on having our local businesses featured in our downtown. Instead of letting businesses from outside of our community come in. Like, I'm glad they're coming in. I really want to be massive, but force. Stop bringing through new developments, stop talking to everybody first. That's, that is true, but also, like that last meeting, it had already been agreed on before we said, we want to get the letters. Being brought up in the beginning, make it more known that, hey, because I've gotten letters in the mail, dealers from downtown about them moving to change the designation of a property in my neighborhood. And you can go and vote. If someone might have to do that, when I saw them, I'm like. They can say, hey.
It's actually happening like. Right now, our kind of metric that we use is basically how much time that discussion will take. Right, so if it's going to be a very large scale project, we'll have a special meeting. So that's kind of the metric, so that previous one was fairly small, so when. Okay, when we're talking about 2 hours, so that's why it was in that, is that, could that be a different, either a different metric, is. They're all development in its own special meeting. You know. That's not something that is, but then that goes back to, you know, how long the meeting is, because if we have an hour of announcements and we're all just sitting there waiting to talk about these homes that are getting built, but then that's intentional because then that developer has to sit through all of these announcements too. So there's a lot of trade-offs going on there. So, but that's like the current kind of metric that we're using. Don't want to make it a 3-hour meeting. And so if that's kind of anticipated, we'll have them have a special meeting so we can really kind of, and then everybody can come in and they can just really have a complex discussion. Thoughts or something like that. In a 5 minutes.
Okay, and then. People price out 7 different days. But it's just. Developments and multi. It's a single hand. That's why we're going to do a lot of difference. We're not gonna stay here for 30 years. They're here for many years that are.
So is it an issue between home single occupancy versus multiple? Doesn't that easy?
That doesn't matter, it's just home ownership. If they want to buy a condo, that's home ownership. If they want to buy a townhouse, that's home ownership. So we have a lot of apartments that are for rent, not as many. In church. We have a lot of churches, they all want to be community, but That first meeting, the church would say, hey, we like. Wait, you can't do that. There's funds here in the neighborhoods, to help our elderly. With their- I know that.
What's that?
Tell me about the money, if it's better to help them.
It's called the investment.
I didn't-
Investment.
But, you know,
More transparency in general.
So with like community council business that they do,
That, and like you said, we have like those special meetings for like, I'm gonna take long, and that special. A lot of people don't see the.
yeah, it's a huge part of like how do we bridge that gap?
Yeah, like it's like,
Yeah,
like that right there, because like we're saying, a lot of people don't know what minorities. Here we go talk to our neighbors about what happened here, they're like, oh, I had no idea this was.
that's definitely the biggest problem is how do we get that final step? Get to the people that know the people who come here. We shouldn't be.
Throughout the community, like I know they do programs here, but. I don't think they're-
I'd say.
Yeah. Because. Because Andy's house. British newspaper. Speakers are roads up, that's another problem. Like, oh, pipes, yeah. Problem is that it's not the residents' fault, it's your fault because you didn't do your job.
Well, there is two people that come about that month.
Oh. Sure.
Well, they don't, it doesn't operate with low freezing. And also a big issue is that. So to find out when it's coming, you've got to look it up online. And so the hard part there is just gonna go around the car. You don't see the things.
Majority of cars that are on general. But get to speak up and miss. You know, that's. I should say it's one of the problems, but it's springtime comes, they always say, oh, the grass is the problem, no, it's not the grass. The issue of the problem, because you didn't bring street to the problem, speak up and miss. So much. Outside. Standards on. I can't think of the others, but I know there's a lot of us. Sweat.
Because of trash and. For the neighborhood.
I mean, yeah, it's tough because, we don't like legally control what happens with zoning or development. The city is the one that makes those decisions, but they are leaning on community councils. To tell them what the communities want,
Yeah.
so. And it's kind of a double-edged sword, because a lot of time, you see, a lot of times frustrating because they still do whatever they want to do, but that's where that engagement happens, is if we have a very strong voice going toward a specific goal, that makes it easier for the officers to go and lobby for that thing. You can say that this is a very, very, very strong demand. And then, then we make those connections with, senior leaders in the city council, to like try to be like, how do we work backwards and get to that goal? So if we're talking about new housing build at a certain affordability, we have to have a conversation of what that should look like and how much that cost should be, and then work backwards from there.
Yeah, so that. Like a project here, they got.
Got themselves volunteer. Yeah. Yes. Not yet.
Until because that's what they did. In all of our communities, they wanted to change the zone. If they needed to know that. Pass through them type of people like that. You know what I'm saying? Again, some of the people that was put into our city camp, into our community council and stuff, they got that zone. That's what we got in all of our community, not with management. No, but it was purpose for us not to have any road schools. Now, very focused on it. It's next.
I'm not saying that it can't be done, it's just simply cool.
So we're starting to lose people.
Yeah.
But
Don't be involved. Don't blame nobody.
Just had 3 people walk out.
people are. Like, is it?
Yeah.
And letting people know about meetings, communicating about special meetings or, what is the best way to communicate? Email, social media.
That's the other. Other people, that's the other people.
I'm not sure of any secret meeting. But that a lot of people talk about not. It's.
Yeah, and to be clear, we're just yeah, and just to kind of walk through our channels right now. So we do have emails that are sent out. I don't know, does that only go to active members or anyone we have emailed for?
Anybody that has signed up for it,
So we do send emails, meetings and reminders. We just started texting and calling active. We are now calling texting. Yeah, and once a quarter, we have a printed newsletter and I get to every household in Madison. Some of which are new. But yeah, I there are constants right here. Suggestions on how to improve. How to better, yeah.
And has been dealing with some issues. It's a family member our board can't always make. So we had some, the software is generally relatively cheap. And then. So if you want to do outreach, so I can use that as a good source of communication.
If everybody would become a member, I would allow. Utilize the send out stuff.
We can put their website on.
I was gonna say something.
Yeah.
So I'll speak up as a new person. I've only been here less than a year. So, but I really respect hearing from Angie and Marco. Real issues, real people, real pain that. Great that people have a place to talk about it. But I think that there's some kind of action, some kind of idea that's saying, okay, you heard me, but now what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Something that's a big issue. It takes up for some things. That's what I would like to hear. Is what can be done.
Call to action, lead it with a call to action, so there's actually something.
Right, not just a bunch of talk, but okay, now what are we gonna do about it?
Okay. Yeah, thanks.
And then they're held accountable, or they have a small board and they can send somebody. Sure. And we can't really listen. But the churches, for the churches here. They're actually amazing, especially in times of crisis, like during COVID. I think it's a great idea. Having a conversation. Right, I think down. In our next generation. Okay, children with better and. And they're strong. That is an untapped opportunity. It's been there for a while, but I don't know for protest. I mean, that's what you. So finding ways of work, you know, it's always kind of. In the later and stop, I want to do something about all our. Kids are saying, I wanna learn how to like environment. Chef, then you put them in touch with.
Hey, we have a program like that, test runs,
Yes.
right now. So
So just MCC, yeah. It's- but there has to be that next generation. Regionally, I've heard some people, and you know, we always have the same people on board, every single board in Cincinnati. It's like a family, because of the same people. And you should. I mean, it seems like the kids are in 4 years or an adult, guess what? Very easy to break. Right, it's not. Yeah, progress.
Yeah, yeah. For a long while ago.
It's not.
But zoning, has a big change, but that process plays. But there are states.
So.
And I don't know.
Their value. I just needed somebody from a different department had been seeing it going on, but that's more on case by case basis. Is there value for the board to go out and try to actively get more folks out, right? Like contact somebody at DOT specifically to come and answer questions about what's going on. Maybe get somebody from like Sawyer to come out and talk about, again, about what changes have been made to the network. Or NSC, right? Like, so is there value in that and trying to make that like a recurring thing where we're actually trying to get a different person from a department in the city?
Just to get our leaders downtown, from downtown into Madison. Because when they do their campaign, they really don't come here to campaign, they campaign in yards. But it's not there, but they don't come out. They don't know. A lot of them are. Yeah. These downtown. To them. Experts talking about it. You can tell them, but they're not seeing it. Actually, it's the action and moving forward.
I guess
So that-
maybe,
so that-
clarify, are you saying like for them to like come to this meeting to receive or just come to meetings and
They can come and sit, when they can see, or just be more involved. If they do come here and they do see things and they just don't pay attention, I get that. Trust me, I know. But us being more vocal than they come to our meeting, they don't have to present anything. They come to me when we're talking about something that they actually do, or they can come and present about something that we're. But it's getting them in this room.
who was next? Okay.
Sounds pretty hard, everything, they get too many. Ask a question about how we take. Yeah. The problem. So. And call right, something that. Say, look. Give me the title to your property. We'll leave you alone. Said that at City Hall. Johnson. I asked for a tape, he looked that out. Witness and everything. That's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with basically criminal. They, anytime you say, give me your property, that's extortion. That's racket. That's legal. My daughter, she said, what we do. Tell them, give me that. We'll leave you alone.
Actually, on that note, if we might talk about the same, not talking the same person, but she did send out like a same invite to all community council to come talk. So we've scheduled that January to to present about what the quality of life department does and handles property complaints.
They already put that. They gave us one and provided.
So, but then, so she will be here in January, so people. She is the, she's in charge of the quality of life department in the law department, division of the law department. And so they handle, property complaints.
She said that.
Yeah.
She said that in city council. And then Johnson said from his client, that if we doing that, somebody need to go to jail. As we already got PD, Pastor, Nora. And Brandon would need to take. This neighborhood.
Because 20-30 minutes isn't gonna cut it. And you said everybody seems to be in. And I do think it's a good idea to have people from the city come. That if you have out in advance, you have a meeting like in January where we have normal business and small presentation. Give an in-depth presentation on what they do. Because having people come out and explain, well, this is how you have a zone change. So the average person, they're gonna feel like they don't understand. Questions, get into our job, if that's how we do it. But if we really have a calendar of meetings, instead of seeing that, like it's a focused meeting.
We're kind of like alternating
Yeah.
style.
We're giving people time for business developers to come in, people to come in, ideas, planning sessions, but also have these meetings where we do work.
Angie.
Well, we're good. I'll put the next one, the new. Of like diversity. Of Madison students. And. The meeting. That you're getting something out of this.
Far back is.
Can I share? I moved here in 2020. And honestly. No, my husband got a job. We were looking for a place close by. We fell in love with the house we're in. My impression is I feel like there's a lot of baggage from previous years, things that happened before I was here. And it comes up over and over again, and there's just scars and wounds that haven't healed yet. And so we're constantly relitigating the past. And I think to a point that was made earlier, it's making it harder to move forward together when there's these like past pains about things that maybe didn't go the way various people wanted them to be. So that's been my impression of just kind of like, I feel like there's a lot of history I've had to learn to be like, why is this such a hot button issue? Okay, that happened, oh, you know. So that's been my impression.
But you know what, it's always gonna be a hot button.
But I think we were. Probably because it is a diverse community. My boss is to try to have something good. Yeah, you know, you see that as. Easy problem solved, but. You know, being here, and that's something to try to find some way of. Like cities and help solve that problem, rural housing.
We have had 3, now 4 meetings this year. 15 non-board people here. So there are 4 meetings we're able to carry on in this. How many people, families are here? 5,000, 10,000
1,000 households.
Yeah. residents, okay, so we can just get 5% of us. That counts. So my question to all of us is, how do we get more legacy residents, more renters? I'm a renter, I've been a renter. Get them, convince them to come here.
But you know what our people said.
What do we do? Ask me like,
when they do more like me. Like these festivals, you know, that's what it should be. They say white people do it, they don't do it because there's fun. That's it. So,
Why is it? You gotta have action. If nothing happens, then all we do is get together and talk.
That's a big.
Can we end every meeting with like an action item? Rising in terms of the statement, that lets folks here know that they were heard. And they were taken seriously, they're listening to you and the other and what you're saying. And then we have like an action item, this is what we're gonna do about it. And then we have like bring a neighbor, bring a neighbor to the next meeting, but this is like. Or the house just like yours. This community has amazing, I've met most people, I do not drive up here and spend as many hours in volunteering in Madisonville. Because I have nothing else to do with my time, I absolutely love this community. I know where this community is. Amazing, awesome, interesting.
Be somehow. Somebody, Steve needs to figure it out, Monica. Okay, it's boring, they don't listen, but bring your voice here.
Yeah, there would be a. Yes.
Here's-
It's a field.
it was two.
On chance. Yes, that was the thing. But I think one thing that would help is if we reinstitute them. Because that way, you know, things would come out.
And Grandma McClure.
No, we could build on it. We already
Tuesday's
have
the
it.
part.
But here's the thing you're not understanding, it started here, you can take the gravel after, but bring it back here. It is, you're not understanding. The event would be here in Stewart Park. We started again where it began and where it ended, they can move it to what part wants to.
Yeah, you can put a coverable community, you can do that. You're-
Well, I think she's actually bring back.
Yes, but it's something that
Not-
died when I was a child. I'm 35 years old. I haven't had this break without a week. Not. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
May I suggest we, unless there's like specific, suggestions for communication, because that's really what we're trying to get out. And it's like, to the point of like, how do we get more people here so they know it is a meeting? Unless if it's about that, I think we should break our group down. So, does anyone have any other like communication, this is how,
Text messages.
yeah.
Because it says we already have it on our website and it's. And those of us that have. Members to come, like Steve, I didn't know who he was, and. October, you know, I texted you, should come to me or call, whatever, and now we're.
Committee to start looking at how to set down and then give ourselves a 3-month timeline to see how it's set up. Create that committee outreach, that way we can go to sign. These folks are volunteering and they're doing a lot of. You look forward. And Gary and Kathleen, we got Susan, Kate just walked out, but like these few people are trying to serve a community on the ballot. So, like, so that's our goal for. You know.
Guys. Good way to.
It should be great.
Set up.
Yes.
So when I did the brainstorm. Like sending a postcard. Being accountable and. Number, something like that.
Yes.
That would, okay. Good.
Good. Work with our. Yeah.
So they are. So like a place. Oh, yeah, not the like, more expensive investments. Right?
Getting in his feet, and it's, but it's
So like
a
maybe.
little bit more money.
Maybe take funding for one that I could.
It's our biggest. Carrier. Our biggest use of funds now is newsletter. The mailing newsletter. Printing it. Part of the thing, like, you can't do it for everyone, like, you can't do it every meeting because we don't have. Yeah. And that's.
You call me.
She
Yeah, once that.